What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be checking out the Bailan Toys Roadmaster, which is their take on Optimus Prime based on his appearance in the original live-action movie. A design that over the past 18 years has seen multiple attempts, with the more recent one being by Hasbro with their release of the Studio Series 32. An extensive retool of their original Revenge of the Fallen version, which was good for its price point, still wasn't completely perfect, leaving third-party companies to mostly dominate in recent years, with the Wei Zhang Thunder Leader often being praised as the best Optimus Prime. That was until this release, a roughly legend scale version, and one that will eventually be able to combine along with Jetfire. So, as we whack up an image of how he appeared in the movie, despite easily being the smallest version of this design, he is still looking to be incredibly close, with the head sculpt in particular looking fantastic for its size, with all of the correct details, even including the tiny vents on the side of the faceplate. Proportionally, I've also got to say that for the most part, I think they nailed it. With the exception of the lower chest maybe being slightly too flat, he looks great, with the paintwork being equally as impressive. And as we spin him around to the back, and again compare him to the design in the film, honestly, I think this might just be one of the cleanest versions of Optimus Prime, which again is honestly kind of surprising, not only because of his size, but because he can also transform into a pretty decent looking truck. The only minor complaint that I guess I should mention would be that the feet do appear to look slightly strange, and I'm also not too keen on how the heels compress into the back. But with that being said, I'm guessing this is like this to eventually allow him the ability to combine with Jetfire. There's even actual metal throughout the design, making him also feel really decent to mess with. And with this guy being super impressive, not only do I now have extremely high hopes for their upcoming Sentinel Prime, but I also wouldn't mind seeing this potentially upscale to closer match with some of the more recent Studio Series figures. Firing through Prime's accessories, he includes 2 ion blasters, 2 energon blades, 2 energon hooks, 3 pairs of interchangeable hands, then finally a detachable faceplate. The ion blasters are fully decked out in metallic silver and look to be near identical to their design in the first movie. The energon blades are also surprisingly detailed for their size. It's really just a shame that you can't have his hands attached at the same time. With that being said though, I do believe that it's accurate for the energon hooks, as I'm pretty sure these completely replace the hands during the forest fight. The hands are also super simple to swap out, and considering his size are a great alternative for articulated fingers. Then, as for the faceplate, this is also ridiculously detailed, with the paint honestly looking just as good as the first version. And to be completely honest, as someone who grew up with those Michael Bay movies, is actually my favourite look for Optimus. Landing into the articulation, I know it kind of seems like I'm just blowing smoke up this guy's ass, but seriously, even this is really well done. So the head is on a ball joint. This can look up, down, tilt side to side, and rotate left to right. The shoulders can kick forward, backwards, and completely out to the side. The biceps can spin, with the elbows being able to bend way past 90. The hands can rotate, with the torso able to crunch forward and spin side to side. The hips can also kick forward, backwards, and out to the side to a pretty decent range. The thighs can spin, with the knees being able to bend. Then finally, the ankles can tilt inward. But to really see the true power of this Prime, let's now put him through the pose test. Firing through some robot mode comparisons and going in order from tallest to smallest, up first is the Revenge of the Fallen Grindor. And whilst not completely perfect, this sizing is still way closer in comparison to the Studio Series version. The 86 movie Optimus Prime, Leader Class Megatron, Voyager Class Optimus Prime, which for a mainline release was pretty decent, but in comparison to the engineering seen from this guy, does honestly kind of pale in comparison. Which again is honestly kind of surprising, as stacked up against the Deluxe 86 movie Bumblebee, he's only slightly taller. Leading the way into this guy's transformation, this is honestly where he becomes even more impressive. It's like they've taken the engineering from a masterpiece and condensed that down into something barely as tall as a modern deluxe. So firstly, take this panel and hinge it up, then rotate at the bicep, flip forward this panel, then rotate the shoulders up. With that complete, we can now take the backpack and hinge it forward, as what you'll now do is take these side doors and hinge them back, so that we can then take the chest and hinge this up. You'll then take this panel and flip it forward, flip the doors up, and rotate them around. We can now take this panel and fold it down, with the head following closely behind. You'll then also do the same for this panel. Combine the chest, take this panel and fold it back, to allow the shoulders to disconnect. You'll then bring these back round to the front, only this time with this additional additional panel until this eventually snaps into place. With the same now done for the second side, combine the two halves and attach these into the windshield. You'll then take these panels and slightly angle them out to the side, as what you'll now do is flip the smokestack forward, with the aim of the game being those tabs sliding into those slots. So hinge this section forward. Once you reach this point, we can now take these panels and compress them in. You'll now take the tyres and swing these to the back, as what you'll now do is spin around at the thigh. We can now take this panel and flip it forward, with this panel folding back. With that complete, we can now completely extend the lower leg, slide the hips forward, with this panel following closely behind. You'll then take this panel and slide it back, which will then allow the tyres to fold forward, flip around and snap into place. You'll then take these panels and slide them back, with this panel folding forward, then finally back once more. With the same now done for the second side, we can take this panel, slide it back until it does snap into place. You'll then attach the sides of the truck. As for the feet, you'll take the sides and compress them in. You'll then slide them back. With the same applying for this panel, you'll then flip this panel forward, this panel around, compress the two halves together, then flip this panel forward. You'll now take both sides and pull them together, combining them at the very top. You'll then slide the front wheels back, with the entire front end of the truck following closely behind. And that is the transformation now fully complete. Rolling out onto the battlefield of Mission City, here is Optimus Prime now fully transformed into his truck mode. And as we whack up an image of the now iconic Peterbilt semi-truck, yet again he's still looking to be an improvement in comparison to the Studio Series version. Front, side to back, he is mostly an incredibly faithful recreation of how he appeared on screen, with my only minor complaint again really being the front end, which is formed from his feet and looks to be pretty broken up. Now I imagine it's like this probably due to the combined mode transformation, but unfortunately it's still quite unsightly. The flame detailing though looks sick, and unlike the Studio Series version, extends all of the way to the sides of the truck. I've also got to mention how they did a pretty decent job in cleaning up the truck bed, something which not even the Rise of the Beast version was able to do. Even the placement of the diecast is really neat, as it cleverly forms the gas tanks and smokestacks of the truck, almost creating a chrome effect, which again is honestly how it mostly looks in the movie. Racing through some vehicle mode size comparisons, and again, going in order from tallest to smallest, up first is the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, Leader Class Megatron, the Voyager Class Optimus Prime, which despite being a lot larger by comparison, unfortunately had a ton of proportion issues in this mode, mainly with how small the smokestacks were, something which I'm really hoping will be fixed with the upcoming Leader version. Then finally, the 86 movie Bumblebee, so this guy's seriously no larger than what you would expect from maybe a Hot Wheels, yet is packing a masterpiece level transformation. So, wrapping up on this review for the Bailan Toys Roadmaster. In all, the figure is an amazing depiction of Optimus Prime as seen in the original live action movie, to the point where in robot mode, I actually think he's the best to be released over the past few years, which is honestly kind of surprising, especially considering that he is no larger than a deluxe class. He also feels incredibly well built, with the mix of high quality plastic and diecast making him far from fragile. It's also pretty ridiculous that this guy is also engineered to combine along with their upcoming Jetfire, to create the combined form from the end of Revenge of the Fallen. So definitely a fantastic looking figure, but I would love to get your thoughts. Be sure to sound off below and let me know. As always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, I'll see you then. Transform and roll out!